All right, guys. So, number one, what historical time period was Machiavelli a part of? Alana, go ahead. The Renaissance period. Good job. And we talked a lot about the Renaissance period already. What does it mean again? Renaissance? Boston. Rebirth. Good job. Nice job catching that Rubik's Cube. Yeah. Rebirth. Good job. Rebirth of what? Connor.
Of European culture.
Okay. From where specifically? Yeah, good job. So ancient Rome and Greece. Good. All right. So Machiavelli was a part of this time period, the Renaissance, shortly after the Middle Ages, medieval times, the Dark Ages. Right. That step backwards. Now we need to just get somewhat of a revival of these innovations of this time of somewhat prosperity and good living. Two, what side of human nature did Machiavelli focus on? So I thought this was interesting, and you can really pick it out just within a small paragraph below The Prince by Machiavelli on the left-hand side of the article. Paul.
I like the selfish side.
Yeah, good job. The selfish side of society. So when you're looking at a lot of these monarchs of the time, a lot of them were selfish. A lot of them just were focused on their power. Okay, Machiavelli was detailing a little bit about how the monarch, the princes of the time, should have a little bit more of a presence to them that's established, that's a little bit more one with the people, okay, one with the majority. Does that make sense? Okay, so again, you guys can find that halfway down this paragraph here on the left-hand side of the opening page. It talks about the selfish side of human nature. It says it right there. Okay, all right. Number three. This work, The Prince, was written as a type of what? So you could find this on the first paragraph here on the right-hand side of the page here. Alana. Yeah, good job. So how-to guide. Okay, we talk a lot about that with the PowerPoint with the presentation yesterday. With this interpretation, a little bit deeper dive into Machiavelli's writings here. What else can we say this is? What else can we say this is? Why?
I don't know how can you how do you pronounce that?
What?
How do you pronounce this word?
I'm asking for number three.
I know.
Well, what word?
There's an S in it. Oh. Oh, so it's just tree. Okay, political tree.
Okay, yeah, good job, good job. So this is somewhat of like a political treaty. Well, look, guys, about a quarter way down on paragraph one, okay, it says, I am desirous of presenting myself to your magnificence with some token of my eagerness to serve you. What do you think he's trying to do here with this writing? Paul, persuade. He's trying to persuade. Yeah, he's trying to persuade the monarch in a way. Good, good. Chris.
He's kind of making his writing into a resume.
Yeah, good job, good job. He's making his writing into somewhat of a resume. He's looking at this as somewhat of his job application. In a way, somewhat of a bribe. Right, so you guys want to put that down for number three. That'd be great. So this is almost like a resume. This is almost like a job application, a bribe. Saying, listen, these are the attributes of what a monarch should have. Okay, here, I can serve you. I can do all these things. I can bring these leadership qualities to your presence and allow you to become a stronger monarch. Does that make sense? Okay. So again, that was part way down of, about a quarter way down the paragraph on the right-hand side. Good. All right, so number four, what is Machiavelli's thesis for The Prince? A thesis. We need to know what that is. What is a thesis? Talked about this yesterday. Alana, go ahead. An argument. Yeah, good job. So it's the author's argument. Good. And real quick, what do we have for his argument for this piece here, The Prince? Parker, go ahead. Oh, you throwing quotes in here. Okay. All right. So let's break it down even more. So what's his argument? What's his main idea here of this article? Wyatt?
I'm out of my question. I'll answer that. Can you submit this back to me so I can edit it?
I will get it then, yeah.
All right, thank you.
What do we have? Number four.
I
We
said
have.
fear and more.
We talked about that. I know we talked about this. But it's in the presentation. Chris.
Basically, a good way leadership qualities presented in this book.
Okay, yeah, good job. So how to acquire and keep political power, right? So you remember we talked about these leadership qualities within the presentation yesterday and the day before, right? He's presenting these leadership qualities to express, hey, if you want to try to control power, if you want to keep it for a long period of time, this is what you need. Okay, this is exactly how countries moving forward in the future are going to run their types of government, their sovereignty in a way. So overall, this is a way to try to acquire and keep power. Good. All right, number 5. In Machiavelli's opening paragraph, what does Machiavelli state as his purpose for writing this work? So we already kind of went over this with number 2. You guys were paying attention to 2. I think you already said this, Chris. Go ahead.
Basically, again, positioning the instant advisor.
Yeah, good job. So again, I'm desirous of presenting myself to your magnificence with some token of my eagerness to serve. So again, he's just looking at a way to get a job, right? He's looking at being a side of the king and side of the prince and enter that royal family, to enter that leadership. So yeah, what can we maybe think about Machiavelli? What does he look like? What does he look like, Parker? You don't know.
John Cena.
John Cena. What? Jeez, what? What can we see? What can we say about Machiavelli with his writing on that? Is he kind of a suck up? Yeah, he's a brown noser. Oh, I should have said that. But yeah, he's a suck up. He's a pet in a way. He's trying to get himself inside of the monarchy and raise his social status. All right, good. 6. So there's quite a few of them you can list from the article, but leadership qualities. I'd like you to look through the article and label a few of these leadership qualities. And they're scattered really all throughout this writing here. So what do we have? What are a few of them? Let's just go over a few of them. Go ahead, Alana. Yeah, just read the one we have. Awesome, yeah. Awesome, good job, good job. So yeah, clement means just merciful. So you're looking at let's say a population, and you're not going to unleash your power onto these people. So you're going to show a little bit of mercy when it comes to your social order, right? Your control of your social order. Trustworthy, humane, religious, honest. Any more we can add? More? Go ahead, Matt.
Knowledgeable of history.
Yeah, good job. So knowledgeable. Okay, you can say loyalty. You can say integrity, so on and so forth. There's quite a few of them you can label with that question. All right, so number 7. Why does Machiavelli say that his views do not follow lines laid by others? Ooh. What do we have for 7? Why? Go ahead.
He's challenging the normal political life.
Okay. All right. Good. Anything else there? Parker, go ahead.
He's trying to emphasize that it's new, something. It's his idea.
Okay, yeah, good job. So again, he needs to show his appeal to the prince, right, to the monarch, and he needs to show that he is something that is a new ideology, right? Good, good. And he's honestly just giving an honest account of what it takes to stay in power. So overall, he's saying, you know what, if you want to try to have a strong, long-lasting kingdom, the only way you can do that is through these types of leadership qualities. In a way, he's really laying out this new ideology and how to express and still control on the power. So yeah, he's being honest to the prince. He's being honest to the monarch. I mean, a lot of times, if you would maybe come out and say these types of words to a monarch, what might happen? You'd probably be killed, right? Because you are almost critiquing their leadership, critiquing their power. But in this case here, he's just trying to be honest as possible and trying to join in, like a resonating sort of way, join into the royal family, which I think is pretty interesting. All right, 8. According to Machiavelli, it is better to be loved or feared. Explain your answer. What do you think? Amelia, go ahead. Yeah, why? Yeah, okay, good job, good job. So when you're looking at Number 8, I guess you say at the bottom of page 2, it would be towards the bottom, on the start of that first paragraph on the side. It says it's much safer to be feared than to be loved, and one must choose. So again, he's saying, you know what? Being loved is one thing, but having a lot of power, being feared by your population and other external forces, it's a lot safer, right? A lot safer. Chances are you're not going to die. You're not going to see any type of revolts or rebellions within your own kingdom if you are feared. If you have a strong military power, you show that presence, and oftentimes you're going to be a lot safer. You're going to see a lot more of a structure within your kingdom that it is not going to just tumble underneath. Does that make sense? All right, good. So again, you can find that here in the paragraph, closer to the bottom of page 2. On the left-hand side, it says it is much safer to be feared than to be loved. So again, I think it's more just pointing at the safety of it. You're looking at more of a protection with that fear. Okay. All right, number 9. According to you, is it better to be loved or feared? So this is more opinionated. What do you think, Parker?
I think it's fine.
A fine line. Okay.
It's like, to some point, people need to be a little scared of you. So they don't go revolting and stuff like it. They should be scared of what will happen. So they don't.
Oh, they need to know the repercussions, right? Okay.
Yeah, but by the same token, if you scare them too much, they're not gonna want to be part of the fear mongering isn't fun.
Okay.
So like, but they have to be like proud to be in your game too, so they gotta look.
All right. Good. Good.
So you don't want people to be scared of you. They're not gonna fight for you
Nice.
as much.
So you're almost looking at Machiavelli's viewpoints, and you know what? See what you're saying, but I think you need to have somewhat of a balance. All right, good. Connor, you have something to add there?
Sure. I think in more modern times, it would be better to be loved because then you will have more friends, and a lot of them will be there to help you. And since you're not asking them almost every day to go fight, lay down their life every
Yeah.
single day,
Yeah.
they're gonna stick around more, and you'll have friends for longer. In modern times, people fear you. You might grant yourself a few friends, but a lot of people aren't going to like you.
Yeah, exactly. Good job. Good job. Yep. So in a way, you can see this compared to even countries today, right? When it comes to the United States, we do have the strongest military power in the world. A lot of countries do fear us. But at the same time, when it comes to our elected officials, it obviously shows that there's some sort of love there in a way. Again, I'm not saying that everybody loves their politicians, but in many cases, it's a lot better than what it was back then in the Middle Ages and medieval times. Okay, so yeah, I think Parker, you're right. Connor, obviously, that's a great opinion too. When it comes to love and fear, I think there needs to be somewhat of a balance to it. And even more today, more modern times, it's more shift towards the love aspect in a way. Lana, go ahead.
I don't know what Congress said about if you have people fearing you, then they can fall.
Yeah,
If you love, they're not gonna love you.
yeah.
You're not
Awesome. Yeah, good job. And again, you can apply this to the workforce, everything, right? So obviously, if you're a strict supervisor or a boss, a lot of times these employees might try to resent you in a way. They might try to even jump up and leave to the next job. But if you make and apply an environment that's safe for the people, that is interactive, then chances are they're going to work the hardest for you, right? They're not going to want to leave. They love to work there. They want to stay there. So yeah, you can apply the whole. I like what you said there, Alon. Good, good. All right, where are we at now? 10. Yeah, what is morality? What is it? What is morality? Paul, go ahead.
Principles concerning
Yeah, good job. So when you're looking at morality, it just means the difference between right and wrong, good or bad, right? Good and evil. Good. Number 11, what is the difference between public morality and private morality? What you got here? What you got? Connor, go ahead.
Public morality is things you do in public, how you feel about things that are going on around you, but they're not with people. Private morality is more or less when you're alone, and most of your choices will directly affect you.
All right, good job. So public morality is just really how one can is seen by everyone, how openly it's observed by everyone. Again, private morality is just understanding a little bit more of yourself internally, and looking at the good, the bad, the morals of people, right? And kind of focusing more inward. All right, good, good. So when it comes to Machiavelli here, right, obviously he's picking out a lot of these leadership qualities that a leader should have, obviously at the individual level, but also too at the structure of its monarchy, of its government. So yeah, you can apply it to both methods, not just an individual viewpoint, but more of a macro viewpoint, a larger scale. All right, good. 12. Why does Machiavelli believe that religion is the most important quality that a leader should appear to have? What we got here? Why? Go ahead.
Make people join them, because sure they're like push it a little bit farther away, but most people still rely on it.
Yeah, good job, good job. So you're saying the majority, right? So in this case, when it comes to religion, obviously the majority of the people during these medieval times, even moving into the Renaissance, even though this is a different look, a different viewpoint of the world around it, and more of a humanistic aspect approach of life, still the majority of people have a fine respect for religion, right? And they hold it a high priority in their life. So Machiavelli believes that, you know what, religion still is one of those things that we still should be grounded by, that we should have a framework, so to speak, a groundwork that people need in their lives. And with religion brings ethics, right? It brings a good standing citizen, a good person, that to follow those ethics, to follow those guidelines. And even today, right, you can look at the makeup of our country. It's not near as what it was before, obviously. It just seems like those numbers are going down when it comes to religious aspects. But in any case, religion provides a strong social structure to a society. And with Machiavelli, he's stating this way back in the Renaissance period. Okay, like I said, even today, religion provides that social structure that's needed and ethics that's needed for society to withstand. All right, good, good. So the essay. All right, so do you believe Machiavelli is incorrect in his argument? Do you believe his thesis, theories are correct? Should the ends justify the means? So again, I'll give you guys till the end of the day here to turn in that assignment, okay, that writing prompt. So if you got it done already, great, good work. Just turn that in now, and I can have that graded probably next period. That's my planning period. But if you haven't done so already, you have till the end of the day to do so. Okay? All right. So real quick, guys. Again, I don't like to bring politics into the class or anything like that. And one of the questions actually that I took off was about political leaders today, comparing it to back with Machiavelli when he's describing. So what do we think? When we're looking at our politicians today, and when we're looking at some of the leadership qualities that Machiavelli presents, are they similar? What do we think? Or is there maybe a distinct separation, a distinct, I guess you'd say, lack thereof leadership qualities that Machiavelli is presenting? Leah?
I don't think it's theirs.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So I guess we're looking at these politicians today. I guess you'd say, oh, well, we can't really put full ground right behind this one person, right? I guess we can look at the negative side of both and say, okay, you know what, this leader is not as bad as the other. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Paul.
Well, they use like Vladimir Putin. He's a very feared president.
Oh,
But
okay.
if you look at his country, people rebelling still, even though he tries to put fear among people. So, really how well it works.
All right. Good. Good example. I like what you're saying there, Paul. Okay. Obviously, today with the Russia-Ukraine war and a lot of the forces being sent there and his leadership qualities when it comes to restricting freedom of speech, when it comes to restricting use of media, right, and only viewpoints directed towards his leadership. Yeah, he rules through that fear, and always the military behind him. So yeah, with these leadership qualities, it's pretty much aligned with what Machiavelli is stating here. But at the same time, you're saying that, oh yeah, there are a lot of upheavals and a lot of rebellions in Russia, which there are because the standard of living is so bad. And you can see that that love aspect of it isn't really being reached by food today. All right, good. Connor?
I'm gonna go with what Paul said. Especially in our government, you're not gonna win by being mean or making people fear you. People have to like you. They have to
Yeah.
look up to you and make you and idolize you. They're not gonna pick you because they're scared of you.
Yeah, exactly. Good job. Good job. But at the same time, you can't be too empathetic, right, Connor?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't show that, oh, you know what, provide this, yeah, provide that, yeah. Almost like a loving being. Yeah, you gotta have that fine balance, like we were talking about earlier. Parker?
When, like you said, with the pandemic, you saw that, like they were pushing like, the vaccines, what'll happen if you don't get it. And people just like that little bit of fear there
Yeah,
was like pushing people over the edge, ready to like, turn over the government. So like, look at what it would be if it was like all based on fear. You got it way more now. Love fear.
all right, good. So balancing more of the freedoms, the liberties, that freedom that people should have, rather than just enforcing these policies on the people. Good. And then the question on what's gonna happen. All right, good job, good job. All right, so if everybody good on the prints here, yeah? Okay, I got a few vocab terms here for you, and I don't know how far we'll get with some of these famous Renaissance artists, but we will try to get through a few of them, and I'm sure you know of a few of them already. Good job on that assignment here. I liked what I saw. Oh, I got a bell ringer. I got a bell ringer, sorry. Oh, I forgot all about it. Humanism, here we go, humanism. End of the bell ringer, yeah. Good job on that, guys, again. Make sure you have that essay turned in by the end of the day today. I will grade those tonight then. So if you don't see your grade in right away, that's why. But if you did turn it in, I'll have that graded probably next period. All right, so describe what humanism means. Who was the father of humanism? Do you think humanism was respected at first during the Renaissance period? Why or why not? There you go. Talked about this yesterday towards middle class before you started working on the prints. We've had a bell ringer each day, right? Yeah. Is that okay with you, Lauren?
I don't think I really have to say it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty excited for this tailgate though. We'll just get Wolf and Oracle.
Oh,
Oh, Austin, you gotta take all your shots sitting down.
Yes. One time I was kneeling on the ground while playing cornhole against them, and I said, "You know what? I'm done with this." I threw one over, and it lobs with me here, lobs right into the hole.
Right hole.
Yeah.
So this is what April really. Oh, no.
Connor, will you do Aussie?
All right, bell ringer quiet. If you just got play a song for you. The Packers actually played every time scored.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was Aaron Rodgers. Might be. What? Might,
Yeah, no,
not yet.
he's still,
This receiver.
they're young. I don't know, I think we'll get it together. I think we'll be all right. Again, if our defense can hold offenses to 12 points, we should win.
And again, they had no offensive weapons other than, the running back.
Four and a half. Yeah, Goddard is out.
Yeah, they
Evans
had
is
no.
out.
Maybe someone didn't fight the Saints.
Yeah. Is anybody in marching band? Okay, all right. I think tomorrow you're gonna go right to Mrs. Kramer's then.
Yeah.
So she is going to take care of the attendance. All right? All right, cool, cool. Everybody else is coming here though, all right? All right, humanism, what does it mean? What's humanism? Alana, go ahead. Thank you. Yeah, good job, good job. So when the Renaissance period is first emerging, we have who? What is this term? Who's the father of humanism? Paul? Petrarch, yeah, good job. So Petrarch, he is coining this idea, this theory that, you know what, we need to focus a little bit more on human nature. We need to focus more on interaction, experience of humans, rather than just focusing on the divine, focusing on religion. Right, you remember last chapter, we talked about a form of education that applied religion and education. What was that called? Paul. Scholasticism. Yeah, good job. Scholasticism. Good. So during the Renaissance period, this rebirth, this revival, we need to focus more on the human aspect of life. These interactions, okay, obviously this experience and studying with education, math, science, and applying these principles of education to understand how obviously people interact, rather than just focusing on just the divine, focusing on the spiritual aspect of life. All right, so again, this is kind of separating, branching away from this firm control the church had over the people during the Middle Ages, during the medieval times, and now this is branching off into the Renaissance. All right, okay, so you know, everybody experienced humanistic viewpoints or ideology. I think everybody experienced it. Everybody experienced the Renaissance. Connor?
No.
No. Okay, so who, for the most part, is experiencing this type of revival?
The wealthier and upper class of Italy.
Yeah, good job. So wealthy, upper class, people had the money, that had the ability to further their education, seek these opportunities. All right, and finally, do you think everybody respected humanism at first? Caroline, go ahead.
I feel like he did, because the Renaissance period was all of them like, hey, you know what, no more religion. Let's go away from that now.
All right, okay, all right. Alana?
I don't think it was. Yeah, he's like.
Awesome, good job, good job. So again, you're not wrong here, Caroline, especially if you're really wealthy, right? If you got a lot of control like the Medici family, chances are that wouldn't affect you too much. But like Alana's saying here, not everybody experienced it. So overall, when you're looking at some of the interactions here in the time period and looking at maybe a lower class, they might have seen these new ideas, these theories. And if they even question the church, what do you think would happen to these people? Yeah, they'd probably be dead, right? Or maybe even exiled, placed in jail forever. But for the most part, they'd be just killed right on the spot. Good. Paul, do you have your hand up earlier?
Yes.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say like I feel like it'd be like 50, like mainly people who just not agree with the people of the church.
Yeah,
Because it's directly taking power right away.
it is, right?
So-
It is. For hundreds of years, they controlled everything, right? Let's face it, you think these people want to give up power? No, right? Especially when you look at some of these government structures. Right? As soon as this power is taken, these freedoms, some of these liberties are taken, it's not going to give it back too easy. Right? They want to hold on to it. They want to try to control that as long as possible. So anybody that tried to challenge it, most likely was put on hit list. Connor?
I also think, I mean, humans are pretty resilient to change.
Yeah.
And back in the time where your survival kind of relied on you doing things right every single time,
Yeah.
changing things is always a bigger risk, and I don't think people back then wanted to change.
You're right. You're right. Good job. Good job. So when it comes to change, right, it's one of those things where, again, human nature is always kind of evolving, adapting in a way. And yeah, at the time, especially during the medieval times, even the Renaissance, this change didn't go really quick, right? It took long periods of time. That's why the Renaissance, when we're looking at this time span, kind of lasts from 1300 to 1600s, right? That's almost 300 years, right? It's pretty crazy to think about. All right, so here are your terms. I think we'll just finish off here with the terms. I'll have you jot them down, and then tomorrow we'll talk them over after the tailgate. Hopefully you didn't eat too many cookies or anything like that.
Me too. I'm pretty sure. I have shorts on.
All right, there's quite a few of them, just to let you know. I will put the list back up tomorrow for you though, okay? I will put the list up back up for you tomorrow. There's a lot of them, okay? So we got Da Vinci, I'm sure you heard of him before. The Mona Lisa. You guys just hear what happened to the Mona Lisa like, I don't know, a month or two ago? You know what happened, Nick?
Didn't someone like throw a cake at it?
Yeah, they did, a piece of cake.
She was hungry.
I guess it was protected by glass, but yeah, so like the cake did not hit the Mona Lisa, but it hit the glass in front of it, that was protecting it. It's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Sure, you can actually find it. I saw it was all over Twitter when it first happened, so I was like, wow. The else
Who wakes up and thinks, hey, I'm gonna throw a cake at them?
I'm sure doing that.
Yeah, he got carted away pretty quick.
I'm sure.
I'm sure in jail time, we'll throw it.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it is a thing. I gotta check into
Just
it.
imagine the conversation.
I'm sure doing that.
Throwing a cake at me.
Anyways.
I wonder if any previous generation has done anything like that.
What's that?
I'm sure if any previous generation has done anything. No, but they did steal it.
Yeah.
Next to.
It's almost like national treasure. Admiration and.
We asked Mr. Rebuck plenty of times.
Oh, yeah.
How do you even get into the cake?
That's a good point. That's
Yeah.
Wait, that's a good
How do
question.
you walk, how do you walk to
Oh, birthday party in the art museum, don't mind me.
Happy birthday, Lisa.
I'm curious how we threw that thing. Did we like get underneath it and like side on, or did they like overhand?
Wait, was it a
And he
piece
had
of
to
cake
have
that
an
was
arm.
on?
Yeah,
They
have
have like a
Like,
big
do you see
area
it?
around it you can't go in.
Yeah, like,
It's almost where you're standing, you have to almost have like.
They-
bro, I bet you he played darts for a living if he hit it accurate.
It's almost like this wall, that wall.
Yeah, he definitely played
You
darts.
gotta really see.
Bro had an arm. Cause I was gonna say they
All
have.
right,
like,
okay.
Why-
We're getting pretty off topic.
I'll say,
Why a cake?
I talk about throwing cake and it just blows up.
What?
On the cake.
That's a good idea.
On the cake,
Cake
it says
bomb.
happy birthday.
Cake bomb. Yeah. Oh, my. That was like a very event right
Someone please do Connor, can you do that?
now. Yeah, I know.
Well, considering how it started today,
Somebody just threw a cake. Breaking.
Let's throw a cake in the Mona Lisa.
The chain. It's already too old.
Hey.
It's already too old.
The rescue.
Shush. What? All right, like I said, we will go over these terms tomorrow, okay? And we'll continue on with the presentation. We'll be finishing up the Renaissance here soon, so then we will move to the Reformation. And right after Reformation, we'll jump into the Age of Exploration. So this chapter, it might carry over to be as long as the first one, but probably not. Probably not.